Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Winter Solstice 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. How will the winter solstice affect Sagittarius? 2021, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have Temperance, Sagittarius, this is us shining through, which is absolutely brilliant. And we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. So if we have Gemini within our natal chart, this comes through very powerfully here at our root. Gemini is also our sister sign. So like sisters, it can be our best friend, our greatest ally, the best thing ever. And it can also be the energy that pushes all our buttons in just the wrong way. So just be mindful of that. The new moon, which was the full moon, which was on the 18th of December, was in Gemini. So this power still is coming forward. It will be here for the next 2 weeks. And so here we have that energy also, again, reinstating itself here at our root. We then have the Knight of Cups, which is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and we have the 10 of Wands. So if we have water sign energy within our natal chart, if we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, this comes through very powerfully here within our inner self. Then we have the Three of Swords, and we have the Page of Cups, again, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, coming through very strongly in our emotional self. We have the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, amplifying the Gemini energy here at our root. We have the Eight of Coins, and we have the Two of Wands. Let's see the energy we have to be mindful of during this winter solstice. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So it is the Lord and the King of Wands. The King of Wands is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It can be telling us not to get in our own way on this day, to really let things happen, to let things become and manifest themselves in a sort of magical way is really what I'm being told here. But also with the King of Wands, the King of Wands is amplifying the Aries energy. This is amplifying the authoritative energy that we might be coming into conflict with during this time. Everybody is coming into conflict with these two energies, freedom and authority, coming together and trying to find the balance within both of these. What we have to be very mindful is having somebody else's fire feed off our own, somebody else's desires and passions and wishes and, self being more important than we are. So that's going to be something that we have to be mindful of during this time. We then have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is flexibility. This is the sacral chakra. Now, the sacral chakra is an intensely beautiful chakra, but it's also a complicated chakra. So we have here flexibility, and we have our creativity and our sensuality held within our sacral chakra. But we also have all the trauma drama from this life and from past lives held in our sacral chakra. If we learn how to be flexible with ourselves, with the energy that we are a part of, with our healing, with our development, with our insights, we are going to see ourselves be more flexible within this time and be more flexible within our bodies, what we want, what we're manifesting, what we're bringing forward. So let's talk about the winter solstice, which is on the 21st of December. Let's talk about it astrologically. Now, this is the longest night of the year, and the winter solstice is all about celebrating the rebirth of life, a time of letting go of anything that doesn't align with our higher purpose. And we are given this time to look at our fears and what has been holding us back and what we need to change. This is really a time where we're starting to connect with ourselves more and more, and we're setting up a foundation of connection, of insight, of power, of understanding. We're also caught between the two energies, again, of authority and of freedom, the energy of Sagittarius and of Uranus. Now, why this is because on the 20th of December, we have Mercury semi-sextile Saturn, and we also have Mercury trine Uranus. So we are sandwiched in between the energy of the 20th of December and the energy of the 24th of December. For those who celebrate, it is Christmas Eve, where we have where we have Saturn squared Uranus, Sagittarius. And so the energy of these two planets amplified by Mercury on the 20th of December brings forward into the forefront of our thoughts, into the forefront of ourselves, this battle between freedom and authority. So this is going to be an interesting time. Also, this is amplified by the sun's energy moving from Sagittarius, our birth time, our greatest connection, to Capricorn. Now, it's interesting because Sagittarius rules Capricorn. So this energy becomes very, very intense, but also not Sagittarius, Saturn rules Capricorn. There we go. Saturn rules Capricorn, which becomes very, very intense. But also Sagittarius, we are more in alignment with Uranus. So our energy is that of outspokenness, of optimism, and of extroversion. We love that connection. Capricorn energy, ruled by Saturn, is hardworking, responsible, and ambitious. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't have different areas bleed into one another, but we're going to see this transition from this sense of what am I embracing? What do I need to embrace? To what do I need to do right in the now to get to where it is that I want to be? Very focused, very task-oriented is Capricorn. And we're needing to show the balance in our responsibilities and our freedom, in our dreams and our reality. And this helps us embrace happiness as we're moving into the new year, which is the angel number 222. 2022 is the angel number of new beginnings. And I'm really quite excited for this, and I hope you are too. Temperance is at our root. We ourselves are at our root, Sagittarius. We need to embrace our balance, our insight, our ideas. As we do so, we have our sister sign right there. We have Gemini energy, which is a little bit more flighty than we are, okay? Because Gemini is air sign energy, meaning, it feeds us most definitely, but it also has the freedom to move wherever it is that it wants to move. This Gemini energy is telling us to connect with what we love, with our passion, with our desires, and we're finding a way to balance this, to fall into harmony with the bigger aspect of where it is that we want to be personally, spiritually, and prosperity in our lives. This moves us to the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is us fighting emotionally for what we desire. This can be a time where we don't know where we're standing. We don't know where we want to be. So many curveballs have been thrown our way during the last 2 years. And for a lot of us, even before this has just been the, accumulation of it all. This has just been a different sort of trauma drama to have to deal with, whereas we've been dealing with trauma dramas for quite a long time. The Knight of Cups is saying, are you going to fight for your heart? And that's what we're asking ourselves. Are we going to fight for our heart? Are we going to fight for what we love? Are we going to embrace who we are and do so with pride and with dignity and not with apologies? Because it moves us to the Ten of Wands. We're being asked to let go of the burdens that we carry. We're being asked to free ourselves from the weight of the world that is making it so that we only see the dirt on our shoes. We only see the work put in front of us and this fact that we need to do the next step and the next step. And that's why Capricorn energy for us can be a little bit disconcerting during this time, and especially since it's amplified by the power of Sagittarius, by it being, its ruling planet being so prominent during this time. The Sagittarian energy comes in and says, well, you have to get it done. The Capricorn energy comes in and says, what are you going to leave this mess? And we're looking at it, Sagittarius, and we're like, I need to be able to express myself. I need to be able to fill in my lungs. I need to be able to, go out and look and see where it is that I need to stand, what it is that I stand for, what it is that I desire. And there's this whole power coming to us. And the thing is that we don't have to figure it out right away. But what we do have to do is free ourselves. What we do have to do is embrace a bit of freedom in our passion, in our creation, in our work, in what we're putting so much of our time and our energy into. And it leads us to our hearts, and our hearts are a bit afraid. What do I do? Like, how do I embrace this? With the Three of Swords, there is so much of a sense of, but I've been burnt in the past, but I have these pains and these wounds. No life is without scars. And people say, why do you bring the psychological aspect of scars into the reading? Because I don't think you can tell the story of a human being, of, any sort of energy without the story of scars, without the story of pain, without the story of hurt. And I think that's very important. I think we don't see as human beings, especially in our modern world, the power of the story of the individual, the power of the story that we tell ourselves and the way we embrace ourselves and the way that we want to move forward for ourselves. And this is important. It's not egocentric. It's not being egocentric. It is looking at the scars that have defined us, the wounds we still carry. And it's saying, no more. No more am I being weighed down. No more am I carrying the pains from the past into my present as if they happened yesterday, having them grow stronger and stronger within my mind. I'm releasing them. I'm releasing these pains. I'm releasing these hurts. I'm releasing these disappointments. I'm naming them. And when I name something, I take its mystery away. I take its stranglehold on me away. I'm able to see it. I'm able to start defining it. And I'm able to start calling myself forward. And it leads us to the Page of Cups. It leads us to being a student of our hearts. It leads us to breaking free. It leads us to looking at things emotionally and saying there's chaos within the world. There will always be chaos within the world, but I stand within my heart. We are getting inspiration from the most unlikely places during this winter solstice. And it's from the calm, it's from the quiet, it's from the darkness. And as we are embracing the darkness, we are embracing ourselves. We are seeing ourselves more and more. And we would think, Sagittarius, as fire sign energy, that no, I don't want the darkness. I want the light of the sun to come forward. But we're going to really be empowered and emboldened by the mysteries that surround us, by the questions that we are asking, by the way that we are moving forward, because in our inner self, we are the defender of our heart. We are the people who are looking at our heart, looking at our passion, looking at ourselves and saying, I stand within me. I fight for me. I love me. And in our hearts, we're learning. We're learning about our heart. We're learning about what we love and what we don't love, where we want to be and where we don't want to be. And as we're embracing this, we have the Queen of Swords coming forward. We have this energy of, this is what I fought for. These are the skills that I have learned. This is the power that is a part of me. And I'm not going to walk away from it. I'm not going to deny myself it. This is what I've been training for, kind of like my whole entire life. This is what I've been working for. These are the challenges that Spirit put in my path. These are the disappointments and the heartbreaks that I have had to overcome time and time again. This is me. And as I embrace me, I own me, I understand me. The swords are the only weapon in the whole entire tarot. And there's a power to that. The swords are also a weapon of nobility. Back in medieval times, no peasant, no normal person held a sword. It was only for the noble class. If you were found holding a sword and you were not of the nobility, you would be killed. That would be it. It wasn't a kind world. It was a very cruel world where power ruled. Queens were also seen as, the bearers of children. They weren't the power that we see them now today. When we say, oh, you're a queen, we are telling that person that they are empowered, that they are emboldened. In medieval times, it was not the same. And so we also have this energy of creation coming forward, of what am I birthing forward into the world. It doesn't mean that we are relegated to the realm of childbirth. What it means is that we have something within us that needs to be brought forward into our world. It has to do with our voice. It has to do with our mind. It has to also do with all the hardships and pains and disappointments and life lessons we have learned along the way. How are we accumulating them? How are we bringing them forward within us and for us to inspire, to see better by? It moves us to the Eight of Cups. We're walking away from something we once thought we would love. It's kind of like, I thought this was going to work. I thought this was going to be awesome. It's not. And now I need to change. But there is a part of us, there's a stubbornness to humanity that says, well, I fought for this. I wanted this. I thought this would be what I needed, what I desired. And it's not working out. But I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it be what I had imagined it to be. Sometimes things just aren't. And sometimes when we're in the midst of something, we're walking away from something that's really good for us. And so we have to look and see, what does my heart need? What does my heart want? What am I being told is an ending here? And how do I embrace that ending? How do I understand that ending? How am I empowered by that ending? Because endings don't have to be bad things. Sometimes relationships fall apart because we're meant to meet somebody else, but also because they were supposed to. They were supposed to run their course and go up to that point. We also have this sense with work. Sometimes we don't fit in certain situations because we're being called to look at more. We're being told there's something more out there for you. Don't box yourself in. And so we can look at endings as a bad thing, and we tend to. But there are also beautiful ways to open up new chapters. A chapter never opens if the other chapter doesn't end. And it brings us to the Two of Wands. We're starting to see our world moving forward. We're starting to see ourselves embracing a new place within our world, holding the world within our hands, looking at things differently, and saying, well, why not? Why can't I try this? We could have had somebody tell us, oh, you're not talented, you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough to, start your own business or to do that thing that you love. Or that's just something on the side. Don't you dare, get too big for your britches type of thing. And there's going to be an energy here of, why did I listen to you? Why did I put myself in this box? Why can't I see me? And yes, there might be a time where we're juggling multiple jobs, just trying to make ends meet, believing in a dream that seems impossible. But remember, as we're opening up doors, every single hero's journey is a fool's errand first, is held by a fool, is held by a dreamer, is held by a person who doesn't see reality. And yet, when it comes true, when things come to fruition and other people are gobstopped that you succeeded where they thought you would fail, that's satisfying, first of all. And secondly, that's the things that heroes are made out of. And I know we seem to really be channeling the fool's energy right here. But I see us moving towards that sort of power, that sort of progress, that sort of opening up the door, and when we hadn't realized that we had closed it in our face, when we hadn't realized that we walked away from something so powerfully perfect for our souls that it almost seems like make-believe. It seems like it's too good to be true, but it's not. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Chariot. That's going from one extreme of, authority to the other extreme of freedom and saying, I'm just charging forward. Whatever happens, happens. We're also going to be very drawn to these two extremes during this time. Do not let other people's worlds overshadow your own. Okay, Sagittarius, that's going to be really important. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is creativity. Again, the sacral chakra coming forward. We need to create, we need to cultivate, we need to build. It's so important for us to express, and it's going to be hard for us to express Sagittarius for one reason or another. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's the Fool. That's why the Fool was coming through so powerfully here. That sense of new beginnings, that sense of opening up the door, that sense of, I have to. I have to take this chance on me. We hold the sun, we hold the fire near us. We're guided by it. We need to be. We're fire sign energy. We need that passion. We need that extroversion. We need that connection. But what we need it for is for our dreams and our desires, not just simply to connect with other people. We need to shine. And Sagittarius, this is going to be a time on the longest night of the year that we start to see ourselves shining. It brings us to our subconscious inner self, and that's the world. The world opens to us. Are we going to walk forward in the world? Are we going to embrace it? Are we going to see our little piece of the world? Or are we going to look at what other people have and say, but I need to be that? Sometimes our world is small. It is small. I mean, we might never be jet setters and, these huge movers and shakers that we see on television. But a small world is not a bad world. We need to connect with people. We need to embrace love and understanding, community and calm. And this is going to be a time where we see ourselves doing so. Where we see ourselves looking at our world and saying, is this a bad place? And the answer is going to be no, it's not. And even if the answer is, but this isn't the place for me, it's like, okay, well, how do I move forward and create that world that I want? Create that world that I need within myself? What first step do I need to take that's terrifying, but so powerful? It moves us to our subconscious emotional energy. And that's the Four of Wands. This is celebration. This is celebrating our lives. This is new beginnings. This is joy and prosperity and success. This is, new job opportunities, new home opportunities. This is also looking outside of the confines of a box or of the pain that we have been in for so long and saying, what if? What if I bought a cabin in the woods? Like, what if I did something that seems so out of the realm of possibilities, but is exactly what I need. And it was what my soul has been calling me to. I was just watching this thing on YouTube where this lady was talking about how she had her home, I think it was in England, filled with little pictures of cottages. And it always made her feel lovely and safe and wonderful. Like they just gave her so much joy. And she wound up buying a small little cottage in, I think it was, in Sweden. She wound up buying that little cottage for herself. And it was almost like she manifested it because she had, had these books about cottage life. She had all these imageries around it, and it was just in her psyche. And she didn't realize she brought it forward. What things like that are in our psyche that we're not even realizing, that we now get to celebrate, that we now get to bring forward within our minds? It brings us to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the world again. I mean, we have the world opening to us in such a way. And we see that with the Two of Wands and now the world itself coming forward. How are we going to celebrate? How are we going to dance? How are we going to rejoice within the realm of our world, within our beauty, within our connection, within our love with this existence? How are we saying, this is my world, this is myself, this is how I get to live my life. This is what I deeply want from my life. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this winter solstice. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius, and may you have a blessed winter solstice.